All right then, so now let's go ahead and customize the header section. So what we have to do is, so basically I'm gonna get into the layout and let me minimize it a little bit. Okay, now that's good. Let me delete this. So here we are going to create ourselves the header component, which we don't have. So what I have to do is get into the component section. I'm gonna create myself a new file called header.tsx. So basically Next.js supports the server-side component and as well as the client-side component, right? So you need to specify which component is going to be server-side and which component is going to be client-side. Basically, the component will be, if it is server-side, it is ready and fully loaded in the server side itself. And if it is a client side, it's going to get into your browser, then it is going to be rendered. That's the difference. Okay, I'm going to specify this one as the client just by adding this text on the top, use client. Then I'm just going to say, or a FC react functional component. Here I'm just going to make this as the header. Perfect. Then let's get back over here, close this, and then I'm just going to say add header from the header sections, something like this. Save it. Pretty much done. And now you should be able to still see the same stuff. Okay, so if you check it out over here, we have this logo section and we have to make sure this is completely the like, yeah, taking the full width. So let's get back into here, and then I'm just going to say over here, this needs to be the header. So let's use the proper tag. Let's change this into header. Class name, width needs to be full, and padding px is going to be 8, py it's going to be 4. Okay, this is going to be on the px on the mobile screen, and from the medium devices onwards, px it's going to be 12, and in from the minimum medium devices, py it's going to be 6. So here I just have to bring myself the logo, which is basically ourselves the image. For that, all I have to do is to load the logo container, which I don't have that yet. I just have to go ahead and create that into the components folder. Let's create a new folder called logo container.tsx. Okay, so for that I'm just going to say mark this one as the use client component, RAFC, which is going to be the logo container. Save this and let's bring it inside over here. Perfect. Now we have the logo container, and basically this is going to render this something like this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this division class flex item center and justify center gap. It's going to be 2. And now all we have to do is to bring this that image. So let's bring the image tag, image, next image, where we are going to supply the source, which is going to be /img. From inside the public folder, get into the image folder, then you can access the logo.png. Please make sure what is that file name. Logo L should be capital, logo.png. That's pretty much done. Then you need to supply the alternative text. Then you need to supply the width. Width is going to be 40, height is going to be 40, and priority. Okay, so now, and yep, so here we missed one more thing, which is going to be class name. Object needs to be displayed exactly as it is. I'm not going to use cover. I don't need to stretch it out. I just need to display exactly as it is. So object contains. So this is how it looks. Now you should be able to see that logo, and right after that I need to display a h2 tag, which is going to say bytes. Okay, that's it. And I'm going to change this style, font style, which is going to be font family, which is going to be strings. I need to supply the variable name. Then what exactly the variable name which should be defined in our layout section. Here I think this is the one that we defined. Copy that name, and you have to supply that variable name here. So the font style will be changed. Then I just need to have the rest of the styles. Class name, which is going to be font same bolder. The reason why I can directly give that over here, but otherwise I can't specify the size. So what I'm trying to say is I can directly give that variable name and I can display it, but I can't specify the weight of the font. So that's the reason I given the font family over there. then I can specify the weight. See, something like that. Perfect. Okay, so now what we have to do is I have to specify the primary and secondary colors, right? So let's see how to specify the primary colors and the secondary colors. So basically this is going to be this color, it's going to be your primary, and the color which we have over here, that's the secondary color. So we need to specify that so that we can reuse it again and again over here. So open up your chat GPT and search for how to specify the primary color and the secondary color in Next.js Turbo Pack. Okay, let's see what is the result it's giving us. So it's saying primary and secondary colors. It's all about the Tailwind CSS. Okay. Problem is we don't have the Tailwind config.ts. That's the issue. See, if you check it out over here, we don't have the Tailwind config.ts. We have only the post CSS config. So what is exactly it's trying to tell us? Setting CSS we are the variable. Let's instruct this. Problem is we don't have the tailwind.config.ts. Should I create it? So simple question as that. Stop it and then just let's ask it, because it's keep on generating something else. We don't want that. Come on. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so it's asking us to generate something else. So it is not necessary, but there was some other options. So let's check it out. How can we set the colors in Next.js Turbo Pack? Because we don't have tailwind.config.ts file, because we don't have that. See, CSS4 is often referred to the latest Next.js versions under block and remove the need of the tailwind for the file basic configurations. So okay, so how can we configure the name then? You can define your custom colors. Oh, we can define our custom colors in the app.global.css. So inside the app, we have the global.css. We have add theme inline, so we can define our colors over here. Okay, so secondary background, color background, we have a lot of variables over here. So we have the root color. So here, these are the variables we have over here. Okay, so I can define myself the primaries and everything. Okay, so let's say hyphen primary color, which is going to be, I can get my color code over here. So what I have to do is use the color picker tool. Let me get my color picker tool, and this is going to be my primary color. So let me copy that color, paste it. Then I'm just going to get my secondary color. So but before doing this, please make sure you don't have the same variable name, because that's going to cost us an issue. Then I'm going to access this, copy that and paste it, because so far we don't have the same variable name, otherwise it is going to cost us. So save this. So now we copied and saved it, and all I have to do is to get back over here, and then I'm just going to say text secondary um text secondary. Let me save this. What does it, what can I see? Okay, so it's not, let me refresh this. Okay, so something we are missing. Still, we added that. I can't see the secondary colors. We can see only the secondary. Mm, should we stop it and rerun it? Check, because it is supposed to be there. Um, let me check it out. Inspect. Let's check this secondary color. I don't think so. The color code is generated. Uh, they said they can define it. Oh, this is how you need to use. My bad. Secondary color. Let's save this and let's see whether the color is changed. Nope, it's not changed. So okay, let's figure out what is that issue it will be, because it's not accepting this variable names even if we defined it over here. Maybe because if you're changing the primary and the secondary colors over here, it is going to affect the entire look and feel. Otherwise, let's try that. Why not? I'm just going to change this. Okay, let me get into the HTML color codes. Okay, LCH to hexadecimal converted. Get into here. Okay, we have that color code, and let me paste that. Okay, this is my hexadecimal primary color. So, and this is the color code. I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna change over here. Primary, change it. Oops. Okay, and paste it. That's my primary color, and let me change it into the secondary. This is my secondary color. Change the secondary. That's pretty much done, and let's check it out over here. Now if everything is working perfectly, then this needs to be changed. Text primary, and if I try to use the secondary over here, that should be yellow color. I can't see any changes. Okay, so nothing is happening. I'm not sure why the root variables are not taking effects. So somehow we are missing something. Okay, so I have to figure out what exactly we are missing. The newest. Okay, I will check that issue and we'll fix that. So anyways, this is the primary color that we want to use, right? So I'm gonna copy this for the text. So let's say this is the color code that you have to use for the text. Let's use that color code. That's pretty much done. Then I'm just going to say text LG, large text, or we can use the XL itself. Okay, then the Y, the gap, it's not taking. Okay, the gap, it's issue. So basically all these things are just trial and error only. So now the logo container is pretty much done, and width, of course, it needs to be full, perfect. And this is going to be flex, and everything needs to be in the center line, item center, and justify everything needs to be between. So save this change. Pretty much done. So now we should be able to see that over here. Then what I need to do is we need to bring the navigational menu section. So that's what we are going to bring now. Okay, let's go ahead and bring that now.